What if I told you, read by myself, Gemma Norris, an author. What if I told you that all of the confusion and chaos that you're being witness to is actually part of the process and greater plan, a plan beyond the ego of man? What if I told you that this chaos was actually meant to be happening for the greater good for all? What if I told you that this chaos and destruction was a dynamic force of renewal to establish the foundations of self-sovereignty? What if I told you that this destruction was the unearthing of all that no longer served humanity, the unearthing of humanity's shadows, of greed, corruption, and the misuse of money and power that has reigned for millenniums, rendering the common collective of individuals as victims and the belief of being powerless? What if I told you that this unearthing was being driven by the purest force of pure consciousness in complete divine timing? What if I told you that these key figures of greed and corruption are subconsciously there as actors on the stage of humanity to show the collective, with full lighting, curtains drawn, and stage raised, no shadows unseen? Light, camera, action. What if I told you that they are in a subconscious role play, acting the roles of the perpetrator, victim, karmic cycle for all to be seen and witnessed, even if leaving one rendered in shock and disbelief, like you are actually watching some far-fetched, crazy movie? What if I told you that their role is to trigger your victim energy within, that has you believe the story that you are helpless and hopeless, leaving you to believe that you cannot do anything about it, because what can I do about it, right? Money is power. Money rules. Really? What if I told you that this was a socially conditioned belief system, aka BS, that has been used for thousands of years to suppress and control the masses, and you have inherited it deep in your subconscious mind and unconscious body, in your blood, bones, nervous system, and DNA? What if I told you that fear and separation is actually the greatest lie and illusion humanity has believed and fed for thousands of years? What if I told you that the Punch and Judy show of evil was being unearthed, the blatant hate, ego and separation with a prize baton, yet also the shadows that lurk pulling the strings? What if I told you that actually the fight was between the two for the role of supremacy, to be witnessed, that their blinkered ego for control and power is revealing and bringing light to each other's shadows? What if I told you that it was not a matter of choosing which side to take, the lesser of the two evils, to calm our nervous system and feel safe again, yet selling our sovereignty to have this perceived safety? What if I told you that this chaos of untruths, lies and deceit was meant to be so blatant that you could not deny it exists, that you cannot go on in life pretending it wasn't there, to have a simple life? I just want to get on with my life. What if I told you it was for you to take action, to wake up, to claim back your power and sovereignty, to kick that ass of victimhood out of the park? What if I told you that all this confusion and white noise of blame or separation, which side to believe, was actually there to take you into your heart consciousness? What if I told you that it was to direct you to connect to a powerful force within you, an innate wisdom that has always been there, yet you have been conditioned not to trust it? What if I told you that your heart is a brain and has a greater frequency of 5,000 times of your mind, and it has the ability for you to discern what is your truth, beyond the confused mind. The heart filters the untruths and returns you to your purest essence, power, and truth. What if I told you that everything you need to know is already within you, and that it's a matter of remembering, bringing these forgotten parts of self back into the light and your consciousness? What if I told you that this chaos and dynamic energy is to break you free from the illusions of fear, separation, and disempowerment, and for you to remember the power that you are and always, always have been? What if I told you that these seismic shifts are the earth and consciousness rising to dismantle all infrastructures, governance, religion, patterns of war, of victim, perpetrator, and suppression, which has been manipulated to control? It is a catalysm to break humanity free from all that no longer serves the greater good. What if I told you that universal energies, planetary alignment, solar flares, tectonic plates are part of a divine great reset for humanity, a revolution for evolution? To remember we are all one of sovereign beings, to no longer be slaves to existence. What if I told you that it had to be this hard to take us to the edges of fear, to become conscious and awaken a burning passion and desire for equality, justice, unity, and peace? What if I told you that once you move from the shock, the freeze mode, you begin to feel an uprising of rage? The seal of tolerance for injustice and suppression has broken, and it is no longer a negotiation tool for your sovereignty. What if I told you that you could harness this rage consciously, through expansion of your heart to alchemize the fear back to love, to use its power not to fight in fear, yet to claim back your worth with the unequivocal power and strength of unconditional love? What if I told you that the existence of such shadows can only exist if the collective believes it does, that it can only exist if the collective allows it to, by feeding it our fear? What if I told you that you could change it through how you observe and perceive it? For an atom, a photon, can only exist if there is an observer, that the observer can manipulate an atom's behavior through thought and attention, and starving its fuel, that is fear, the energy in motion that feeds, that keeps it alive. What if I told you that this awakening of heart consciousness is global? It is the earth shifting to a higher frequency, out of the matrix of fear and into a higher state of being, breaking free from the lower vibrational plaque of humanity. What if I told you that a collective of heart consciousness individuals are seeing the untruths and laying new foundations for humanity to ascend to? What if I told you we individually and collectively are purging our systems, our nervous system and blood, to recognize the toxicity physically, emotionally, and mentally showing up as health issues, for us to become ambassadors for our planetary health, for our water, soil, and air? To remember we are nature. We are not separate. And it has been the belief that we are that has allowed the earth to be raped and abused in mass consumerism and greed. What if I told you that our ill health is to awaken us to our sovereignty of self-sustainability once again? A power that has been sold away for convenience, a system created to promote dependency and thus control. What if I told you that your truth was love, joy, and peace, and is your sovereignty, of which you were born with? What if I told you that all you perceive around you as chaos is to navigate you back into the eye of the storm, for your nervous system to become the calm, the quiet, the observer, yet grounded and allowing this dynamic force to clear the paths, the unserving, fear-based infrastructures uprooting, for you to feel your truth, your peace, as you breathe through the constraints of fear and deepen your connection to earth through heart consciousness. What if I told you that you can find your true safety, your true support, as you open the energy torus field of your heart and ground it into earth, allowing the old and unserving to fall away, to deepen your roots beyond the superficial man-made constructs of safety and recalibrate your nervous system to this pure, unconditional love that is Mother Earth, your purest truth? What would you do?